Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Fellow countrymen and women, these are our ministers and permanent secretaries at the front bench, representing the various ministries and answering the questions that matter to us. Join the conversation. This is the front bench.
Indeed, this is the front bench, and we are here to engage your leaders as we address the concerns that really matter. And like I did mention, you can be part of this conversation by using the hashtag on X, UBC Frontbench, but also in the same spirit, you can text us via WhatsApp or send an SMS to 0709-602-592, and I shall be getting through those questions as the chairperson of the Public Service Commission, together with the permanent secretary, do speak to your questions and to your concerns. And in that capacity, let's drive into those conversations. Now, of course, we are going to be looking deeply into the key functions of the Public Service Commission, but also trying to understand the workforce management and human capital professional development, and of course, what efforts the Commission is doing towards addressing these concerns. And that is something that you, dear viewers, should be highly interested in. Now, let me get direct to the chairperson, as we need to understand the functions of the Commission. Madam Chair, once again, good evening. Let's get into the bit of the functions of the Public Service Commission.
Thank you very much, moderator. As you so informed our viewers, the Public Service Commission is a constitutional body established to ensure government employs a professional, competent, and ethical public service. And this it does through the provision of competent human resources for effective and efficient service delivery. The functions of the Public Service Commission are enshrined in Article 166, Subdivision 1, A to F. And these include to advise the President in the performance of his or her duties as prescribed under Article 172 of the Constitution of Uganda. Also to appoint, promote, and discipline errant officers of Uganda as provided in Article 172 of the Constitution. Another function is to review the terms and conditions of service, the standing orders, training, and qualifications of public officers, as well as the personnel management function of the public officers, and recommend to government. Also, to guide and coordinate the district service commissions and city service commissions, and to hear and determine grievances of officers appointed by the district service commissions and city service commissions, and any other function as may be prescribed by law. Okay. And in so doing,
yes,
the Commission has 9 members appointed by His Excellency on approval of the Parliament. And this includes the chairperson, the deputy chairperson, and 7 members to do this role. Thank you very much.
All right. And let me head now to the permanent secretary. In your office of the permanent secretary, how do you oversee the implementation of policies within the Public Service Commission? And in that way, in what ways do you ensure that these policies are effectively undertaken?
Excuse me.
Well, as a permanent secretary, I supervise over 90 people who are supposed to implement government policies at the commission. The commission, we have got various fora through which we implement government policies. We have got the top management headed by the chairperson and consists of all the members, myself, the deputy secretary, heads of department up to assistant commissioner level. These are the ones who approve and set in place policies that are implemented by the commission. I chair the senior management team, which consists of all the senior officers at the commission. We meet every Tuesday morning. These ones develop policy, but at the same time, once top management has set in place a policy, the senior management is supposed to make sure that this policy is implemented. We also have this finance committee, which meets every 3 months. This one looks at the performance of the commission in the previous quarter and then allocates resources for the current quarter. And then we have got a general staff fora whereby we meet quarterly, and therefore these are the people with whom we implement the government policies at the commission.
And Madam Chair, let's look into the bit of technological advancements here. You see, the world is moving into an era of digitalization everywhere. And when you also look at the digital Uganda vision of 2040, you're looking at Uganda moving into that direction, really. But I would want to hear from your side of things as the commission, what efforts are you doing to ensure that you are heading into that direction of technological advancements? And also in the same capacity, what efforts are you doing to enhance skilling of public servants with digital skills?
Thank you very much, moderator. In the direction of digital transformation, previously at the commission, we used to do the recruitment by manual.
Okay.
But since 2018, we have adopted the e-recruitment, whereby now we carry out the graduate recruitment using aptitude tests online. Even applications are done online for graduate recruitment as well as promotion. And this has supported us very much in reducing the human touch and corrupt tendencies, as they used to say. We have also digitalized our records by use of the electronic document system, and we are digitalizing all our records in order to achieve easy retrieval and management of records and avoid losses of these records, as used to be the case. And I think these have helped us so much. We are continuing to upgrade the e-recruitment so that we can even do competence exams using the same system.
And PS, the chairperson talked about the functions. I would like you to also give us more of an elaborative kind of view from the Public Service Commission in terms of the roles of the commission to the Ugandans and to the public servants as well.
The chair has talked about recruitment, that is promotion and so on. The commission usually receives submissions from ministries and agencies. Now, when we receive these vacancy declarations, we advertise the vacancies so that every Ugandan who has the requirement. In public service, you must have the requirements for the job in terms of academics, but also in the working experience. So every Ugandan has got the required requirements, can apply for a particular job, and then we shortlist him. The chair has talked about e-recruitment. Submissions and applications to the commission are no longer by manual processes. People apply online, even if it is for promotion, and we shortlist them online. We inform them that, you know, you have been successful, therefore you come for the interview. On some cases, we conduct some of these competency exams online, and then the marks, the candidate's work is sent to the examiner direct without us touching on the booklets. So this one has reduced on the human contact and thereby reducing on the any corruption tendencies that may arise. Yeah.
You know, I want also the chairperson to speak on to that issue of corruption. You know, when it comes to recruitment here, the Public Service Commission, which is in charge of this docket, comes into the picture. One may wonder, how do you deal with some cases of these? Because many people come out and claim that, you know what, I have failed to get this job in public service or in a given office simply because I did not pay a given sum of money to the appointing authority in that capacity. So I wonder though, how do you address these concerns, Madam Chair?
What you're saying is correct, Mr. Moderator. People do complain that people have asked for money in order to get these appointments. When we get such complaints, we do try to investigate. But you see, this issue of corruption is a bit complicated. Many claim that they paid money, but when you ask for empirical evidence, they don't want to show it. And therefore, at times, you don't have anywhere to start from trying to investigate. However, where we get whistleblowers and people who are willing to come and give evidence, we do carry out investigations. And we have so far been able to, over time, to get about 4 or 5 cases, and these people have been dealt with and handed over to police. Others, we have had to arraign them before the disciplinary committee if they are our staff and take action. But otherwise, the issue of corruption, and I'm sure you are aware, is very difficult to deal with. People don't want to give information.
Okay.
And we always request, please, our viewers, if you have evidence, come to us. We are willing to investigate and take action.
And Madam Chair, let's look into the, you know, what the Service Commission is doing in order to enhance, for example, appointment of the youth or the young talent into the public service. And what efforts are you, as the Public Service Commission, doing to retain this talent? Because there is one thing to appoint, but also retaining them. Take us through that.
Through our adverts, one of the issues we raise is age. And we hold the graduate recruitment exercise every year. And through that, we are able to tap on the youth to join the public service. And when they join, ours is to recruit and appoint. And we send them to ministries where the jobs are. And the ministries or agencies take care of their career development and progression. And that ensures that most of them will be retained. I want to assure you, government is the best trainer. That is why people at times want to tap on the talent. But I don't think it is very true that most of them leave the service.
Okay. They stay and grow within the system.
Yeah, yes.
They do.
They do.
Because government does deliberate training for its staff for progression. And we as a service commission, when somebody has upgraded their academic qualifications and experience, we promote them after some years. So that is an incentive for people to stay in the service. But at the same time, you know, you are looking at somebody who has joined the service maybe at 25 years. Government gives you employment until you are 60. That is a very big incentive. And then at the end of the 30 years plus you have worked, you are given a pension which you earn until you die. So for many people, that is assurance that they are catered for by government from the time they join the service until they depart this world. So that's an incentive. But at the same time, you know, promotions come with salary increment, they come with responsibilities increased, and that gives a person that his worth. And when they deliver, if an engineer joins as a pupil engineer, and then he works on a road project, and then he sees the road being made, that's an incentive that I have done something as an individual. So that is how, what motivates many young people to stay in the service for until they leave.
You know, PS, there's also this other question of looking into how the steps taken by the Public Service Commission to ensure that interministerial collaboration and, let's say, government agencies and other institutions are having this collaborative kind of movement that sees a well-streamlined and organized agenda of Uganda's growth and development. I wonder, though, from the Public Service Commission, how do you ensure that these steps are taken in the right direction?
Well, government works on a principle which is called the whole of government. There is no one ministry. We work as a unit, as government. The role of the Public Service Commission is that we recruit not only for the Public Service Commission, but we recruit for all ministries. Therefore, we make sure that the people we recruit are the best for a particular job in a given ministry. So government works as an organ. It doesn't work in silos. And that's how there are collaboration. But at the same time, government doesn't work alone. We have got the East African community. We've got other international fora whereby we also as government learn. Recently, last week, we had the APAM conference in Munyonyo, which was hosted by Uganda. And we have got so many people coming from all over the world, you know, to share experiences of how public service is delivering on the services to the people. That's one way in which governments and entities of government are able to collaborate.
Okay. Speaking of those collaborations, then, Madam Chair, I would wonder, I would like to know also, if you can give us, for example, the issue to do with the challenges that you're facing within the service. Because I do have quite a number of questions coming in, and I would like to bring those in after the break. But I wonder, from the Public Service Commission's point of view, what are some of those issues that you are still dealing with, and how are you addressing them?
There are so many challenges. The biggest is inadequate funding. Inadequate funding in that we cannot do some of our roles, especially the guidance and monitoring of the city and district service commissions, whereby we need to induct them and mentor them after approving their appointments. So it becomes a big issue. We cannot do the supervisory role. We also need to upgrade our e-recruitment system so that we can cascade it down to the districts and also reduce on the corruption in the districts. But all this, we need money, which we have not yet got. Another area is we need to verify the records of the staff. There are others who may have forged certificates and transcripts, but it also needs money to have UNEB as well as the universities to verify these documents. So these are some of the issues that we have, including also to get a home of our own. Because right now, when we do the aptitude exams, we have to hire facilities at the university where they have big labs in the ICT. That's where we do our tests from. But if we had a home and also catered for our own labs, it will reduce on the costs. And maybe PS also could add a few other.
Well, there is managing the expectations of people.
Okay.
Every year, universities and colleges churn out so many young people, all expecting to be employed mostly by government. When we do advertise for about 200-300 jobs, we get over 20,000 applications. And these are mostly genuine people who are seeking for jobs. So to manage expectations of so many people year in, year out is also very difficult. And then the chair has talked about the districts and so on, but then the local government units keep increasing. We started off with a few 40-something districts. Now we have over 145 districts, plus Kampala capital city. We have 10 cities. All that is mandated to us to handle them, to approve their members, but also to support, supervise them, and guide them, and hear. The commission, one of the roles is to hear the grievances of the people who are affected by the decisions of these service commissions. So that is a big toll on us, and yet we have to do the work.
All right. And among the questions that my two viewers will be able to answer is one coming in from Toko Godfrey. Toko is asking something about most public service officers lacking labor or being short of labor. He asks, when is the recruitment going to be done to some of these different areas where officers do lack or have short numbers in terms of human resource? We shall be having more of those questions answered after the break. I'm seeing quite a number of those coming through. The number is 0709602592. Good evening.
Fellow countrymen and women, these are our ministers and permanent secretaries at the front bench, representing the various ministries and answering the questions that matter to us. Join the conversation. This is the front bench.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Winning requires the stamina of a lion. But most importantly, it requires that you carry that water up the top of the hill. However, you must use a spoon. Take the water now. Go, run, climb up the hill. 72 spoons. Faster, go, go. Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
This is the front bench. This is the front bench.
Well, good to have you here watching the front bench, and this is the Public Service Commission that is being presented forward here on the front bench this Monday, the 2nd of December. Did I wish you a happy new month? I didn't. I'm hoping I'll be able to do so at the end of the show. But here we are, we're in the final month of the year, 2024, and what a year we've been having. Now, I've been having comments coming through. I've also realized others are still coming through, and we shall be getting into a number of them, because the chairperson and the permanent secretary are here to respond to the concerns that you, a dear Ugandan and the viewer, is having. Now, first off, Toko Godfrey, you did send a comment here saying, good evening. Please clarify that most public services are short of labor. Why is the office not recruiting more staff to different respective government offices? And if you're recruiting, what processes? Please, Toko Godfrey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toko. Government may not be recruiting enough, but this is a responsibility that we do on behalf of the ministries. You're quite aware that government is short of funds. So ministries, if they don't have a wage, they have first of all to clear with the Ministry of Public Service over wage. If they don't have wage, then they cannot recruit. Although they have the numbers and that they want to recruit, but it has to be in line with the provision of wage. Now, if they have wage, then they submit to us their requirement. Say they want to recruit 7 human resource officers whom they can take on and be able to pay. When they do send these requirements, we wait and get from all the ministries whatever they have to recruit in accordance with their annual recruitment plans. Now, when we get that information, we put out an advert. And the advert clearly spells out the different specifications for the job and the required qualifications. And this advert, we put it on our website as well as in the print media. In the print media, we put a few details, the summary, and all the requirement is on our website. And people can apply. And they do apply. When they apply, that is when we shortlist. We shortlist those that qualify and are compliant to the advert in respect of each job.
Okay.
And after that, they go for the aptitude. In Makerere, that is another saving point. And our ratio of appointment is 1:6. Each position, we have 6 applicants to compete. So after having been through the aptitude, especially for the graduate recruitment exercise, then they come and we do the orals. And thereafter, we sit as a board and appoint these people. and then send that information to the relevant ministries.
There's actually a question here from Pauline Nakazwe, who was asking something about the aptitude test, saying they did that in March and it's December, no results whatsoever.
Nakaziwe is asking about the District Service Commission. Ours is at the center, the Public Service Commission.
Okay.
The District Service Commissions, but they also have the same processes like us.
Okay.
So I don't think that it takes that long.
Okay.
The maximum it can take, maybe if they have issues, is a month.
Okay.
But not all that long.
Okay. And there's a comment coming in from Andrew from Chisoro, and I'll post this to the PS. He says, thanks for hosting the Public Service Commission. Considering across the country, citizens have been complaining about some bit of corruption prevailing in the district service commissions. And he asked, do you carry out any due diligence before appointing members of the District Service Commission? And he's asking from the perspective of Chisoro District.
Well, the members of the District Service Commission are identified by the District Executive Committee. They are the ones who identify, and then they sit and nominate 5 people or sit on the District Service Commission. It is at that level really they should be doing due diligence. That these are people of integrity, because the law says they must be men and women of integrity. Now, once the DEC has identified the people, they send those names to the District Council, which consists of all the councillors. Now, at that level also, since these are local people in the locality, they should be able to know that so-and-so left service in a private company because he embezzled money, and therefore he shouldn't be on our service commission. Or so-and-so retired dishonorably, he shouldn't be on a district service commission. So we as Public Service Commission, much as these names are sent to us, we don't have that capacity to go and do the vetting. But what I would advise the districts to do, they can use the agencies like DISO, they can use the IGG, because at times people who have been appointed on the service commissions have been thrown out. We have got cases of Mbarara where the members were put in prison for bribery, for soliciting funds from people. So the local people, the DEC and the council should really do due diligence. They can use their own, because these are people who are in those districts. They are not coming from very far. They know them better. And they know people have been serving, how they have been serving, and if they have got any tainted nature, they shouldn't be putting them on the service commissions.
Okay. It does seem like I do have quite a number of questions that are district oriented or kind of district manufactured, because there's a comment here coming in from Buyeka Samuel from Bududa, who is also having an issue, saying there are some sectors that have many recruits while others have few. He gives an example: production sectors at local government have few compared to others like education and health, yet PDM needs extension workers, he mentions. So he's kind of maybe looking at the issue of balancing the recruitment bit of things.
Well, I think it's no wonder many issues are coming from the districts, because that's where the people live.
True.
The local governments are the implementers, the first where the tire hits the ground. And therefore their issues matter much. And we as Public Service Commission, one of the roles which the chair has talked about is guiding the district and city service commissions. Various local governments and even the center, they have got structures. These structures issued by the Ministry of Public Service says, for each post, how many people do we have? For example, we have got only 1 cow, but we have got so many deputy cows and so on. So in the same way, the production department may be having few people because that is the structure compared to teachers. Teachers, don't forget that there are so many schools, primary schools in the districts, because the government policy is that every parish must have a primary school. And then there is the health centers. Health Center 2, Health Center 3, and Health Center 4. All those are supposed to be manned by nurses and doctors and so on. So that's why education and health have got the biggest number in terms of employment, both at the local level but also at the center, because there are so many people who go through those systems, either hospitals or schools.
Okay, and corruption is seeming to be another issue here. My comments are filled up with a lot of corruption. Someone here says, thanks for the program, but corruption is too much in our districts. People have fake papers, and when it's time for verifications, the ones recruited are not the ones that are supposed to be there. She says it would be better if the papers are verified. And she gives case in point, Chankwanzi, we have serious issues. Thanks for the program. I really need an audience on this, please.
Well, corruption, especially with the papers, not only in the districts, but also maybe in the center. There are so many people who go to Nkurumah Road and NASA and you know, manufacture these documents. But that one can be found out if people, once you recruit people, then you write to the agencies which give these certificates, either UNEB for O and A level, or universities or colleges for this tertiary. Except for districts, maybe they find it difficult because UNEB, for every document you verify, you pay 50,000. The same goes for the university. They may not afford it. But we at the Public Service Commission, when we recruit people, we send their documents to the universities and also to UNEB for verification. That way, you are able to weed out some of these. But then also, the cows, the members of the District Service Commission, many of these have been teachers. You have seen what a genuine document looks like. So they are the first sight. You can, at first sight, some of these be able to recognize that this is a forged document. But those who do forgery so well, you may not be able to see it. But if you wrote to these institutions, they'll be able to tell you this is fake, this is genuine.
All right. And with those questions, I'll be getting back shortly to these questions. Let me head down to Madam Chairperson. Madam, let's look into the engagement bit with the public from the side of the Public Service Commission. How do you enhance engagement with the public to ensure that you are making the effective efforts and work is efficiently done between the public service and, of course, the people who are receiving these services from the public service in general?
Our engagement with the public is mainly through the job applications and job opportunities. That is when we mainly engage with the public by way of advertising and holding those interviews for the positions that we have. Our role is a bit complicated, that we mainly deal with staff to be appointed. But we do give them information through our adverts in the print media, online, as well as through the ministries. That is basically our engagement. And when we hold these recruitments, we do use merit-based exams or interviews so that we get the best competent, qualified officers whom we appoint and give to the ministries where they carry out services, public services to the people. And these are qualified people, and we believe that the quality of services that government gives are beyond 50%, and therefore that is a credit that we do give them staff that are competent.
Okay, and well, besides that, the PS mentions about how the chairperson mentioned something about how they engage, how you as a Public Service Commission engage with the people and the location and making sure that the services meet the people. I wonder though, how can they contact the Public Service Commission, PS? And is there also a bit of a window for whistleblowers, especially when it comes to these scandals of corruption at the district level?
The Constitution, our Act, our regulations and the standing orders give us the responsibility of listening and determining the grievances of people appointed by the District and City Service Commission. If somebody, for example, has missed a job, genuinely thinks he was number one, and then the District Service Commission mulched him and gave the job to somebody else, they are free to appeal to us, and in those cases we ask for the score card marks sheets and see how people were scored. And we have had cases whereby marks have been altered and we said, no, this is not right, you should do this thing again. Whoever you have appointed, cancel the minute of appointment. But also the public can complain to us directly by either sending us email on psc@psc.go.ug. They can call on telephone number 0414 34 2279, or they can walk direct to our offices, which are found on second floor Farmers House along Parliamentary Avenue. They will be welcome. But also, as a commission, we have a website. This website is psc.go.ug. All aspiring candidates are encouraged to keep checking on it whenever we advertise, because at times they may not read the papers. But if there is an advert running, a person is free to apply for these jobs. That's some of the ways in which you can get in touch with the commission. But at the same time, we hold regional workshops. Last year, we were in Moroto for the Karamoja sub-region, whereby we met with the district and the District Service Commission and urban authorities of those areas. On Thursday and Friday this week, we shall be in Fort Portal for the Bunyoro and Toro sub-region, whereby the district and City Service Commission plus the local government people will come. In this fora, we are able to listen to what the issues are from the local governments, but at the same time, we are able to teach them, we are able to mentor them, we are also able to reach out to them. But then we also have talk shows after the end of these programs, whereby people phone in and we go to their local radios, we speak their local languages, we see somebody who knows, for example, in Fort Portal, I'll be there on the Voice of Toro and others. So that way we are able to listen to the issues raised by the Wananchi.
Well, I do have a question here, and it's directed to UPS. And it also takes me back to my question here relating to initiatives for the workforce development. This comment is Olaboro Charles Soroti, says, thanks the people from the public service. He mentioned something about human capital management system is not accepting some public servants, e.g. TVT workshop technicians and workshop assistants are not cultured. So the bit of the cultured human capital, the human capital development issue there.
The human capital management system was put in place by the Ministry of Public Service to streamline the payroll, because before that, many people were being accessed onto the payroll irregularly. And the ministry put in place this human capital management system, whereby all government employees are supposed to be paid using this system. If you have issues with access to the system, then through your principals, if you are in BTVET institutions, through the Ministry of Education, which is your mother ministry, or through contacting the Ministry of Public Service, some of these particular issues can be handled. But what I know is human capital management system has been rolled out to all local governments and the central government ministries and agencies.
Okay. And Chairperson, I don't know whether you can speak to this. This one says, good evening, James from Kamwenge. I'm kindly requesting the public service to highlight on the recent documents which have been circulating on social media saying some sectors have got salary enhancement. Say thank you.
Maybe PS can speak to that.
This is really the Ministry of Public Service.
Okay.
The Ministry of Public Service, I hope they will be coming here.
Yes, they will be.
They are in a better position. But what I can say is that regularly, government increases the salaries of officers. And when government increases the salaries of officers, they issue circulars. They don't work through social media. They issue circulars. And these circulars can be quoted. So if there are any government increments of salary, then you wait for the circular to that effect. If no circular has been issued, then that means it's not yet done.
Fake news.
Okay.
So government does not work on social media platforms.
And lastly, this would do for the questions from the viewers. This one says, as Commission, how do you handle the issue of resignation of an officer from any government agency and the Commission did not respond as per Public Service Standing Order?
The process of resignation is that if you are in the central government, you write through your supervisor to the permanent secretary of your ministry, and then you write to the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Public Service, who allows an officer to resign. You don't have to come to the Commission for you to resign.
Okay.
Except if you want to come back, then you have to apply afresh. In the case of the local government people, you apply through your supervisor to the chief administrative officer. He's the one, she's the one who says, okay, now you can resign, and that has to be in writing. Until the PS, Ministry of Public Service, or the chief administrative officer has replied to the officer that now you may resign. An officer doesn't resign.
Okay. And that said, I'm going to be taking the parting shots of the both of you. And in the parting shots, I would start with you, the PS. What key reforms do you think are necessary to modernize the public service and also improve the delivery of services to the citizens?
Well, one of the ways in which government is improving and modernizing service delivery is through ICT, leveraging ICT. We have seen in our part as a commission, we have said people are now, they don't have to bring their documents to us, they apply online and we shortlist and inform them online. The same goes for the government, you know. Government now, you call a minister and he replies. You don't have to walk from Kapchorwa to have your issue. You can send an email. We are amenable to that. And then also through what we call training. When there are new cases, if the government wants to take its people through a particular position, they train them. So there is targeted training whereby people are trained to be able to deliver. And then there is also restructuring. We have had, now we are in the process of restructuring whereby some agencies have been collapsed into the ministries. And therefore, that one is bringing services to the people, but also making it efficient so that we cut down on the inefficiencies. Yeah.
All right. And your parting shots, Madam Chair, I wonder what kind of reforms do you think the Public Service Commission needs to ensure that there will be effectiveness and also the bit of the efficiency in service delivery?
Thank you very much. I think those reforms should target improvement in the recruitment systems, whereby, as I told you earlier, we need to upgrade our e-recruitment system, and we need to introduce also competence-based exams for our officers so that we test them holistically and reduce on the human touch in the recruitment and the appointment system. Yes.
All right. And again, to you, our dear viewer, thank you very much for being part of the conversations tonight. I do have quite a number of comments here, but because of time, we're going to be ending this here. This one said, thank you very much, UBC. Ocheng Walter, we've seen your comment as well. And then we have someone called Michael Obuya. Thank you very much for being live on the show and being part of the conversations, and of course everyone who has been part of it. Next Monday we shall be returning at 8:30 p.m. to have these conversations and more answered, because at the front bench we engage your leaders and address concerns. This evening though, we did have the Public Service Commission, and like I did mention, we did not have a ministry this time round. We had an institution that is affiliated to the Ministry of Public Service, meaning we shall be having the Ministry of Public Service also to answer.
Clarify there, we are not affiliated
to
the Ministry of Public Service. We are an independent body.
Okay, so this is an independent body, that is the commission, and not a ministry as we always have the ministries coming through. But of course we shall also be having the Ministry of Public Service in the same regard, to have the conversations and also to probably understand from the district service commissions, and of course getting to understand the pain that many of the Ugandans are facing. Now my guests this evening have been having the chairperson of the Public Service Commission, Ms. Winnie Agnes Kabogo-Ssonko. Again, thank you very much for joining us, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
And with her, she has been moving with the chairperson, Dr. John Mbabazi. Thank you very much for joining us, Doctor.
I'm the Permanent Secretary. We thank you, Moderator, for hosting us.
The Permanent Secretary of the Public Service Commission. I want to wish you a happy new month of December, and of course today being the second day of the month, we are only counting a few days to the end of the year. But of course here on the front bench, unlike the fact that someone alluded to it as the hotline, but the hotline number you can use is 0709-602-592 if you want to be part of the conversations. The hashtag is UBC Front Bench. I am Joram Ssonko. Till next week, have yourselves a blessed week and a good evening.
Oh, you